Hello viewer, welcome back. Now we are going to trace out our front and the back of our shot. And to start with, if you'll be able to look at the green lines, this is our back, and for the blue lines, this is our front of the shot. I have my tracing wheel, the one that I'll use to trace out. I'll see whether it's well placed. Then I'll come and start with the front and trace out. Starting from the hemline, I'll go all the way to number 8 for the front. I pass number 5, go to number 6, to number 10. Along the hemline, trace it out to number 11, number 7, all the way back to number 10. It's good to trace out the central line, which is our green line, so that when we are cutting out our fabric, it will direct us the light green. Also, it's good to trace out the seat line, so that we can have a balance mark there, so that when we are stitching, we'll be able to balance our back and the front shot. From there, you lace out, you remove the top, and then you cut out through the markings that you have made with the tracing wheel, using the paper cutting shears. You cut through, you follow the markings, the edge along the waistline. And here we have our front of the shot. From there, you take your ruler plus the marker, and you put marking or a straight line at the central line, which will be our green line, and still you can name it green line. And along the seat, this one you can do it with the broken line. And this is the front. All the top side of the shot. Still, there is something else you're supposed to light the number to cut. You come here and light. How many pieces are you going to cut or you need for your shot? There are 2. And then you light, cut 2, because you need for the left and for the right front shot. So here we have our front. And still, it's good you mark the seam allowances, which 1 centimeter, which is inclusive. You just pick your curve, and you make sure you mark with the broken line your seam allowance. You can start with the inseam, 1 centimeter. We had our 4 centimeter hem. Come and mark it. This is where, when you are stitching, you follow the line. You still mark along the side seam, 1 centimeter, all the way to the hemline. Make sure you keep the seam allowance even, and also along the waistline. And also the fork line, 1 centimeter. Where there is a curve, make sure you use the curve. To draw. And here we have our front of the short. We are to go back to our short that we have drafted, and we trace out the back short. Make sure you have arranged it well. And then you trace out. We can start from number 12, going to number 20, all the way to 16, and then to 18. You go past the dot up to number 21. The hemline. The side seam up to number 20, and also the dot. Don't forget the grain line, which is the central line. And here we have our back short, and we are going to cut along the markings. Remove the waist. And here we have our back. Draw with the mark pen the green line. The dot. We still have our sit line, which we have not. We can remark it again. I will draw it there. The broken line. And this is the back. All underside the short, and it is cut 2. So here we have our back short, but there's something else we have to do. We have not yet finished, because we have the pocket, we have the fly piece to draw on the patterns. For the back, if we can start with the back, we need the pockets for the back, which is the bound pocket. We normally see them in the men's garment or men's trousers and shorts. We have to put it there, and we have to start. We'll go to the crotch line, and from the along the waistline, you go in 5 centimeters all through crotch line, 5 centimeters. And our fly piece will be around 21 centimeters length. The width 5 centimeters. And from there, as you mark, you come and join or draw the line. We said where there is a curve, you come and curve it. And then you join with a straight line at the end. So this is our fry, starting from the seam allowance along the waist. You draw it along the fork line. From there, we trace it later. We come to the pocket. At this corner, along the side seam, go in 5 centimeters so that we draw our pocket mouth. And the length, because you have to make sure your pocket mouth, you'll be able to strip in the sleeve, the list or the arm. You come and measure 15 centimeters from this corner, and then you join the line. So this one is our pocket mouth, but we need the pocket bag. So you're going, you'll come and from The corner, you can measure 14 centimeters, and then you square down. Now we are making a pocket bag. You can use the L square to get an angle of 90 there. And draw a line. This will depend with the desire of the person who is stitching the garment. You can deepen the pocket bag, like around 24 or 23 centimeters, and then you square across. And then you join with this line. You can curve it a bit so that we have our pocket bag, the one that we are going to use. From there, we are to trace out. We are going to trace out so that we have our fly, our pocket bag, and also the side piece of the pocket in another brown paper, green one. You trace it out. All the similar ones, you have to trace them. To show where you are going to stitch. You can come and cut it out. Do the markings that you have done. You have made, sorry. And along the cutting edge. And here we have our fly. Supposed to come and mark the stitching line with the dotted line or broken line to show where you are to use when you're stitching. Remember, we have that, and this is our fly, which is fly piece, and you have to indicate the number to cut. And this one you are going to cut 3 pieces. From there, we go back to our front where we have drawn our pocket, and we trace it out. Using your tracing wheel, trace out your pocket bag. We have the pocket bag. Sorry. You come and cut it out. Always is good to indicate the grain line to help you when you are cutting out. We can use this line so that we can draw our grain line, and it has to be around maybe 5 centimeters from the straight line, so that the person who's going to stitch it going to follow it. That is the grain line. And because the pockets are 2, we need is the pocket bag cut 2, because there are 2 on either side of the trouser along the seam, side seam. So this one we have to add the seam allowances when you are stitching, because it has not been added, only the front has been added the seam allowances. The less you have to add the seam allowances. So we are cutting, we have already cut our pocket bag, but we have to indicate our stitching line along the waistline. Mark the stitching line, and along the side. After tracing out the pocket bag, mark the stitching line along the side seam, mark the stitching line along the waistline. At the side of the pocket bag, you're supposed to add the seam allowance all through up to here. Now we are to cut the pocket facing, and we are going to use the same pockets that we had already developed. We trace it out again, but at this time we are going to go through the pocket mouth, because that is our pocket facing. And if I start from here, we go up, you trace out, and then from here you go in along the pocket mouth, mark or trace out the seam allowance. You pick your pen, on this side you can add the seam allowance, mark the stitching line, the pocket mouth. Make sure you add a small seam allowance of 1 centimeter. Along the waistline, the seam allowance was there. You are not going to add again. And also add at the side seam, and you join with a cuff. Put the grain line, or you draw the grain line. And this is the pocket facing. Cut 2. From there, you're supposed to cut out. We have already traced out our pocket facing. Now we are going for a short break. When we come back, we are going to cut out.